Vigon, it's Rich Man Z back at it again for another episodic review. And guys, seeing as we're in the Halloween spirit, since we're at this time of year, I thought it'd be fair to review some of like my favorite Halloween episodes. On this one, we're going to be looking at Fresh Prince compared to TV sitcom series that was playing around the same time. Martin, just like Fresh Prince, I got a full review of the Martin series, which I'd done way back. I believe it was way back ago. Definitely check that out to have my full thoughts on Martin. But just to touch base on the Martin TV series, it's 30 years of Martin. I'm so proud of that TV series, and just a shout out to GQ Jamal, who I've been on these channels and been on my channel, the Retro Brothers Reloaded. I told him this, and it's true. Like, Martin is such a series that you can watch 20 years or 30 years from now. It just has such a lasting appeal, and to go back and just rewatch these episodes, is pretty amazing. And on this one, we're going to be looking at like the Halloween episode that came in the 5th season of Martin. So this is episode 5 of season 5 of Martin, which was titled "Booze in the House." So just to like bring people up to date on the Martin, if you haven't gone to see season 5 for whatever reason, at this time Martin, from like the end of season 3, Martin had Gina, and they end up getting married in the season 4. At this time, Martin and Gina are you could say happily married. They're living together in their apartment in Detroit. I think it was so evident in Martin, and especially when watching this last episode recently, that the golden part of Martin, the one that really had so much laughs, so much gags, so much comedic moments, was definitely from season 2 to season 4. Like, those 3 seasons can stand the test of time. It's just the most hysterical moments you can get from these seasons. When you look at season 5, and this is the first time I've done this in a while, of like watching season 2 and then skipping to watch season 5, you can definitely see like there is that energy and that atmosphere is not there. And I think definitely what goes to this was the tension on the set between the main principal characters, Martin and Teacher Campbell's drama, and also Martin had issues with Cole. The tension kind of added to like why the season 5 is not as good. Still good. I think the season 5 is good, but you just see the level of quality from the other 3 seasons, even the first one. Well, it just felt like some of the jokes, and it just felt even Martin at this time wasn't as invested as he was in before. And keep in mind, this time he was starring in movies such as Bad Boys. He directed his movie Thin Line Between Love and Hate. So it does feel like Martin does feel exhausted in some scenes, and it just doesn't even hit as well. But it's still always incredible to see Martin and the gang in this episode. Right, so the episode "Boo in the House" again comes in the 5th episode of Martin. So it happens. So in this one, basically, Martin comes in and basically says like, "Oh, I've been able to get a new house." He believes he has an offer to get out the departamentos that they stay in Detroit, that apartment building that they stay in. He has the opportunity to get a new house. But Gina questions him, saying like, "You ain't even seen the house. You ain't even seen the house." And Martin goes back and says it's only 50 G's, and I'm like, 50 G's for a house? That's pretty incredible. But you can see from Gina, she kind of has her reservations because Martin hasn't seen it. He hasn't you can't really describe how it's like. He's just going on the fact that he can go there the next day around Halloween and go see the house in person. So they were originally like the gang, Martin, Pam, Gina, Cole, and Tommy. They were gonna go to a Halloween party, but only because like the owner who was gonna sell the house to Martin said like, "Oh, you can swing by and come tonight," because he was very eager to sell it. They actually changed their plans to go to the Halloween party, and they stopped by this new crib, and it's really funny to see the outfits. Martin dresses like Ike Turner, Gina dresses like Tina Turner. Pam dresses like a cowgirl. Tisha Arnold, by the way, smoking, still smoking. Tommy dresses as Shaquille O'Neal, and I'm just still confused how he could get this Lakers jersey without having no job. Rest in peace, Tommy. Cole dresses like the Scarecrow. They made their way to this prospective new house, and they actually meet Mr. Jenkins, Mr. T playing Mr. Jenkins, guest starring in this episode, and he tells Maureen that, like, I'm eager to sell this place because his dog died, which turns out later it was just a phony story. He had a scheme, which I'll talk more about later. But Maureen, with Gina, they together they contribute and they give like a down payment of $3,000, and Maureen actually hesitates to give it to Mr. Jenkins, and as soon as he gives the down payment, Mr. Jenkins leaves, and Gina and Maureen are kind of ecstatic, like, we made a good deal. This house is big, but they didn't know it was a haunted house. Wow. So once they're in this haunted house, the second Mr. Jenkins leaves, they're in this haunted house. They start hearing noises like, "Get out! You are not welcome here." Some like eerie, creepy noise vocals in the background. And Gina and the gang, Maureen gang, they actually believe like they need to leave. So as all five of them are there, just after instances, all these creepy creepyplots start happening with the house. When Cole is there is this funny skit. There's a funny bit where like the bear, so this is the bear you use for like the rug or like the carpet, it starts to move. Like, I don't even know how they did this prop, but it was so cool. It started to move. A scarecrow, Cole is losing his mind. He's like, just bear move. So something is definitely going on. And as they go through this as they start going into this house, each part of the gang of these five, they start to get lost. First, Cole goes missing, then Cole goes missing, and then Tommy goes missing after helping Pam. He goes into a closet, and the closet takes him away. Then Gina actually goes missing. Tina Turner goes missing. Going through this house, and they're just like, oh, what's going on? And again, one of the biggest selling point of the Maureen series is the fight and the animosity between Pam and Maureen. And when you see them two together, maneuvering through the mansion, and Maureen's just laying these like insults to Pam, like, I think it's your family who are making these noises like the bear, and she compares it to animals. It goes out, even in the beginning, it goes out Aretha Franklin, like,
you bought a new playpen.
Nah, Aretha Franklin.
It's comedy gold seeing them two go. So they actually maneuver around the house, and they actually come towards the climax. When it feels like Maureen and Pam, like, oh, they're not gonna get out of this, not gonna get in the mansion. They actually find like this. They actually find this mummy. So they come downstairs, and this mummy is there, like, oh, mummy. They're actually kind of able to subdue the mummy, and it turns out the mummy was actually Mr. Jenkins. Toward the end, Mr. Jenkins actually comes, and he's kind of like charade. His kind of plan was he takes down payments of potential buyers of like the property, takes that money, and he tries to scare them after. So he's already got their down payment. They're not even worried about getting the like down payment deposit that they just leave. But in this time, like in Scooby-Doo kind of fashion, he failed, and the police actually take him away, and they leave with Mr. Jenkins. And you just have the end of the episode where Maureen was feeling like, I'm untouchable. I ain't scared enough again. You hear again some sounds, sounds of some like creepiness coming from. Yeah, you hear these like creepy sounds that come with the house, like, get out, and they'll run out before the end credits. And that's pretty much the episode of Boo in the House. So with Boo's in the House, it's just a very nice, fun Halloween episode. I honestly do feel from watching this back because I currently was on more in season two. Just I hope to review some of these episodes later from season two and even the other seasons. So I just watched that, then I came straight to this to review this for Halloween. I do again, and I said this in the beginning. I do see the difference of quality from the season of two to the season of five, and I'll actually said like it is like a step down of quality when you do season five. You know, it sometimes feel like even the audience don't find it as funny as it was before. Like maybe it could even be like maybe the audience even was sometimes tired of the whole Pam and Maureen thing, which I love. You know, I love it, don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, it just feels that this episode again, it takes part only a bit at the Maureen's like normal Maureen's apartment, and then it quickly shifts to the whole episode at this mansion. So mansion of like they're going around all these horror vibes, and one by one, each of the gang of Maureen, Tommy, Pam, Gina, and Cole, they end up going missing until they found at the end when they find Mr. Jenkins is there. So it feels, this episode feels very like a Scooby-Doo live action episode, but with a little more in urban 90s sort of vibe, Def Jam sort of vibe in this episode, you know, which is cool because I used to watch a bit of the Scooby-Doo episodes. I just feel like not just the episode but the whole season 5 is not something I return to as much. I just feel that the best episodes of Maureen came way earlier. This was in 1997. So just when they were, pretty much thinking of like, ending this great sitcom. So I just feel like season 5, sometimes it's very difficult to find some of the best episodes from the last season of Maureen because, again, as I said, like Tisha and Maureen were not in a lot of scenes together. There's even towards the end of the season where like Maureen is on a boat, or there's multiple episodes where Tisha Campbell's not in it. There's an episode where they focus one episode on Pam. I think even another episode on Tommy. So the main main protagonists of the series, there was a lot of episodes where they just weren't there, or they just had maybe a little appearance, and they were kind of oblivious. They were not like showcased in the episode. So I feel like it's peak. This episode got made when Maureen started to go on a downward decline, and thankfully they actually came with they were intelligent enough to end Maureen with 5 seasons. Like it would have been a shame if it went to another season and we got like a worse episode, because you don't want to see that to Maureen. Yeah, I would just say that this is just a nice episode to look. It's nice to see the costumes. It's nice to see Mr. T. Who I don't think I ever saw in another sitcom. I think he may have appeared in Family Matters. I'm not sure, but for even the little that Mr. T is in, he does a great performance. And yeah, so I would say, who would I recommend this to? Again, it's a cool episode to watch on Halloween. It's a cool episode to watch on Halloween. You gotta love the costumes of them. I still love the chemistry between all the 5, especially Maureen and Pam. Pam looking smoking as she does even today. The only negatives before, I think it's just the timing. Like I would have loved to see this Halloween episode in the seasons before, like specifically season 2, because I think in my personal opinion, I think season 2 had the best episodes with like Varnell Hill, Pretty Ricky is what they call them, and of course when Tommy Heard punks jump on to get beat down. So season 2 was just the golden, the New Jack City, of course, parody. So it would have been nice to see if this was earlier. But other than that, I mean, if you're a fan of Maureen, Lawrence, definitely check this out. It's still great, legendary show. Awesome. So yeah, folks, I would love to hear what you think about Booze in the House, the 5th episode of season 5 of Maureen. Put all your comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about season 5 of Maureen. Let me know what you think of Maureen Lawrence in general. Let me know what you think of my girl Tanisha Arnold. Hope she sees this. And yes, definitely stay tuned for more episodic reviews. They're gonna be coming soon. That's Richie Rich signing out. Peace. Yeah.